For coaches, club football is the highest point you can aspire to get to. To prove that you are a top coach, you have to do it at club level. The greatest managers have always been the ones who conquered club football, from Alex Ferguson to Carlo Ancelotti, Pep Guardiola, José Mourinho and the rest of the guys. But these days it seems like the big boys are abandoning club football and taking up jobs with national teams, and everyone is asking why that is the new trend. We're here to address that in this video today. This is why top coaches are now switching from club to international football. First of all, this is simply the new reality. The exodus is becoming clearer by the day. In the last 3 years, we have seen Julian Nagelsmann move from Bayern Munich to the Germany national team, Carlo Ancelotti move from Real Madrid to Brazil, and Thomas Tuchel move from Bayern Munich to England. Now, this summer alone, we have seen Zinedine Zidane finally come out of his long hiatus to take over from Didier Deschamps as head coach of the France national team. We have also just seen Jurgen Klopp take up the Germany job, succeeding Nagelsmann after a disappointing World Cup campaign. These are not just any coaches, these are some of the biggest names in the sport leaving club football behind and switching to international football. And here's the thing, it doesn't just feel like a trend. It looks like a pattern is developing here, and more coaches will be making the switch in the coming months and years. Xavi already said that his next step could be a national team. Patrick Vieira is being seriously pursued by the Senegalese Football Federation. And of course, a few people have tried to get the big one, Pep Guardiola. Reports say that the England FA had a conversation with him a couple years back to take over from Gareth Southgate, but obviously they ended up going for Tuchel. Now that he has left his job at Manchester City, the Italian Football Federation has approached him, but he turned it down. However, not before giving the proposal careful consideration. Having turned down the job, Italy went and hired Andrea Pirlo to lead the new era of the national team. Basically, if the managers have not switched yet, they are probably seriously considering it, so prepare to see more top coaches switch from club to international football from now on. But why exactly is this happening? If club football is the peak for managers, why do coaches now seem more willing to leave all that for international football? What really is the appeal? Well, the first reason this switch has become so rampant is because club football is draining. Top coaches get just about 1 month of rest every year, and it can really take a toll on you. Even after a successful season, you cannot really rest. You just have to keep going and going and going. It's tough. It's why Jurgen Klopp left Liverpool. He said himself that he was running out of energy and just could not do this again and again and again. If you remember, Pep too needed rest. After 4 years at Barcelona, which was his first senior coaching job mind you, he had to go on a year's sabbatical in the US before he returned to coaching and took the Bayern Munich job. And like we said, it doesn't get easier. Despite having conquered English football at Manchester City and established himself as the club's greatest ever manager, one bad season still did a lot of damage to his mental health. Even his relationship suffered. He and his wife split in 2025 because he barely had time for her due to his coaching job keeping him occupied all year round. She lives in Spain while he was in England for years, and the job was so demanding that Pep could barely travel to spend sufficient time with her. Eventually, she couldn't do it anymore, so she called it quits. They had been together since they were 18 years old. She was with him all through his professional playing career, but it was the coaching job that really drove them apart. Yes, that is how demanding it is, but international football gives managers more time for themselves and their families, which is why they are migrating towards that now. As a national team manager, you only take center stage once every 2 years. Beyond that, your job is quite simple. Take charge of friendly matches and qualifying games. And oh, you also get free tickets to watch the best league games in the country all season long, only that this time you're more relaxed in the stands as opposed to being under heavy pressure on the sidelines. This alone is a great incentive to make that switch. Talking about why he wants to take up a national team coaching job soon, Xavi put it very plainly. He said that a job at a club won't allow him as much time with his family, which, according to him, is not ideal for a man with young children. There's no sugarcoating it. International football gives coaches more time for themselves and their families, so coaches, especially those who have nothing else to prove, would certainly be motivated to just take that switch. This way, they get to continue doing what they love, but now with a much freer schedule. Now, there's one more statement Xavi made that gives us an insight into why coaches might be making this switch right now, and we'll talk about it in a second. But if you aren't yet subscribed to the channel, go do that right away so you never miss out on our amazing content. Done? Okay, now back to the video. So, speaking on his national team ambitions, Xavi also said that he would love to participate in the World Cup or continental competitions as a coach. And that gives us an idea of what might be going through the heads of these managers. Whether you care to admit it or not, the World Cup remains the absolute apex of football, and the way players dream of playing on that stage is the same way a lot of coaches would love to have that experience as well. Maybe some of these guys will return to club football after some time, just like Luis Enrique did, but they just want to experience being on the sidelines for the biggest competition in the world, the World Cup, as well as the Euros, Copa America, AFCON or Asian Cup. In some cases, these coaches have already done it all at club level and just now want a new challenge. Thomas Tuchel, Jurgen Klopp, Zinedine Zidane and Carlo Ancelotti have all done it all in club football. They have won the UEFA Champions League and multiple league titles. In fact, apart from Zidane, they have also all coached in multiple different countries, so international football might just be a new challenge for them, one they are curious to explore and hope to conquer. But there are some coaches for whom it is less about the experience and more a matter of loyalty and service to the nation. Klopp would likely not have returned to coaching if Germany didn't do so badly at this World Cup. In July 2024 and again in September 2025, he said that he was done with coaching and he seemed very satisfied with his role as head of global football at Red Bull. But seeing his nation fail to reach the round of 16 of the World Cup for the third consecutive edition probably forced him to lend his services to the country to get the national team out of the rot it has been in for over a decade now. He would surely not have done this for any other team, whether in club or international football. I mean, he was linked to the Real Madrid job earlier in the year, but he completely shut that down, not caring that it is one of the biggest clubs on the planet. He was also linked with a job in Saudi Arabia, which would have been less pressure and more money, but he also shut that down completely. The only thing that made him return to management was his country calling on him. So in his case, you could say that it was more about patriotism than anything else. And who knows, maybe if Spain were also going through a similar rot, Pep Guardiola would have been forced to take up the job as national team head coach right now. Anyway, it is now time to hear from you guys. Why else do you think more top coaches are making the switch from club to international football these days? Who do you think will be the next manager to jump ship? Get in the comments and talk to us. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Also turn on the bell notification so you never miss out on new content. Catch you in the next one. Bye!
Hey fam, this is your chance to build the jersey collection you've been waiting for. The Goal 90 bundle deal is live. Buy 2 jerseys and get 10% off. Buy 3 and get 15% off. Buy 4 and get a massive 25% off. Club kits, country kits, retro classics, pick your favourites and save big. And yes, every order comes with free worldwide shipping. Goal 90 bundle deal. Buy more, save more. Shop now at Goal 90 Shop.